Hey guys, and welcome to another day on the shop. As you see behind me, we have the 4G63. It is about to be picked up. Dropping stuff. Need to clean up my shop. It's about to be picked up on the crane, the engine crane, and lowered into the Plymouth Laser. So, we got this thing all cleaned up. It is ready to accept. Well, I need to paint a little bit, don't I? But we'll pull that out and paint that in a minute. It's ready to accept this. We're going to come in from the top with the engine, come up underneath with the transmission, because I don't feel like taking all that brace out and that exhaust out. We got the power steering here. We got the AC there. They are ready to bolt up to the transmission, to the engine. Power steering's going here. AC's going there. All the hookups on the engine are ready to go. The vacuum lines and supplies, I've got new vacuum lines right here. I've just got to look up the routing of them because I have a vacuum port here, 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 and two on the car themselves. As far as that goes, I've got lots of electrical connections, lots of water connections, fuel, and more electrical. So we're going to hop in this and hopefully get this in as quick as I possibly can to get this on the road to test drive it. So, let's put this thing in. Alright, so got the back bolt through. I'm working on this one and that one right now, and it's giving me a little bit of issues. So I'm going to unbuckle the chain and just have it pull up right here to see if we can adjust how we need to on this side. We can see if we can swing this over. That should be the contemplation towards making this do this. So let's do that. Another little update. Oh, got the front, got the side. Need to tighten up the back mount. Got the bracket on there for the exhaust. Tighten up the AC condenser, or AC condenser. AC, oh, yeah. Why can you never think of things when you need to? Oh, but anyway, got the belt tightened up. Got the power steering on tightened up. Got this on. So now I got to work my way through all this mess and then figure out the vacuum lines. After that, I will be looking at putting the trans in, and hopefully, fingers crossed, it should be done and ready to go. So let's get to it. All right, doing the exhaust just like I did the exhaust manifold. We're going to use this gasket just to kind of use it as a spacer. On top of that, we're going to use some copper, ultra copper. So, we'll knock off Chinese crappy deal. We're going to put ultra copper both sides, put it in there, sandwich it, let it sit for a second, and then pinch it together and be done. So I'm going to do that. Okay, another thing done. Put the exhaust on, painted the battery box over there. So I made a list of what needs to be done. Let's lower y'all down. All right, what needs to be done: tighten the mounts, get the hoses done, get the vacuum lines done, get wiring done, get the axle or the transmission in there, get the axles in there, the radiator, fluids, battery, air filter. So we're getting done. A lot of this is pretty quick going once you get it in here. The confusing parts are how to get this thing set up with the mounts, and then the vacuum lines. I don't know where they all go because I've never messed with one of these, as I've said about a million times with this. So heater hoses, fuel down here, fuel on the other side, trans, throttle, cruise control. Trans needs to go there, hoses, overflow, come over here. The AC's done other than wiring. There's a fuel hose right there. Got these loose due to mounting of different hardware. And then all the way down here we got wires going down here. So these should be pretty simple. I'll hook all them up before the radiator gets in. That's why the radiator is one of the last things, because it should be the simplest to just drop in here, and you should have plenty of room between all that. So it's the first thing to come out, last thing to go in. So that is my new list, and I'm going to take a dinner break and then come right back and hopefully get this trans in and get all this wiring done. All right, so I'm back from my dinner. Now I'm going to start lifting this transmission in place. So all right, so I lied. I didn't put the transmission in, as you see. Started hooking up all the wiring and hoses. Got the alternator hooked up, the power steering line, this little doohickey right here. So got the AC hooked up, all the injectors, the throttle cable, fuel line, and vacuum line to the brake booster. Secured the wiring, it's all down. Secured anything else to the bulkhead right now. So now, oh yeah, I got all the mounts mounted tighter. So now my next objective is to get the transmission in so I can finish hooking up all these. Oh yeah, got the heater hoses hooked up. So now let's finagle this transmission in. All right, I went about this all the wrong way. So this thing is way too heavy to lift up on a floor jack when you're working off just jack stands. They're up under there, up under that oil. So got the engine hoist out, strapped it to a mounting bolt there, and then the ground down there. Now all I have to do is lift it up enough to where it clears through the plastic over here, and then get the bell housing over the whatever you want to call it, torque plate, whatever, and just have to watch out for that axle, which I've pulled out, and I can probably pull out some more because I have disassembled this over here to make sure I have plenty of room in there to do this. So that's the way this is going to go. So I'm going to see if I can jack this thing up and get it into place, and hopefully it works. So. All right, that took some work. So I've got a jack up under here, jacking up the front. This is kind of loose. It's almost lined up. I'm going to do some tweaking. I've got some baling wire holding this torque converter in. You saw me struggling with it. So I'm going to unravel this. I'm going to probably snip this and pull it out that way. So that should work, hopefully. Find my snips wherever they went. So this is a painstaking process if you don't just take the whole motor and trans assembly out all at once and put it in all at once from the bottom. This sucks, by the way. So I'm gonna get this baling wire out. Okay. Bolt in, bolt in, bolt in. Bolts are in somewhat, not all the way. Those are snugged up to where it gets the transmission kind of attached to the engine. I'm going to put the jack up under it, take this off and start strapping this here, and we're going to make sure everything's good. So, and then start doing the connections and all that. So let's get to that and clean up that mess and then put the starter on. So yes. Okay, so we got the transmission in. It's not fully hooked up. We've hooked up the shifter cable, hooked up all the wiring on this side towards the motor. There's still some more other stuff I want to hook up, but right here, that little plug goes right here, and I'll hook that up after I change the transmission fluid because I don't want to deal with trying to pour stuff in there with a bunch of stuff right there. So we got the starter in, the wiring set up for it. I got to bolt this down. I've got both axles I still have to put in, but you see down there and over here, I don't want to get in that mess. So I'm going to do everything I have to do. Then I'm going to clean that mess up, come back to this. And the last thing is I got to put the radiator back in, and I'll have that cover on, but it's getting there. So I'm not sure. I might clean up some more of this and paint some of this, paint here. Maybe paint just a little bit here, just to kind of clean it up, make it look brand new again. Because this is not only a rebuild, but restoration-ish. I'm not sure if I really like the two-tone of this to this, so this might get kind of sanded down and painted the same silver, which is a high heat silver. And it should make this pop a little bit more. And then with all this matching, I might go through and just do a little bit of graphics for the sake of doing that. Take a paintbrush and put some red in here because I've got some red. I got some wrinkle red as well. Not sure yet. Haven't hooked up the fuel line yet. It's still sitting here. It's going to get new O-rings or new crush washers, whatever you want to call them. These parts are back here. Engine's grounded. Oh, what else? That's about it. I'll probably refresh this. I'll have another one. And this one I might just order 2 more that look a little bit prettier. So it's coming together. So yeah. Not sure if this is the end of this video, but there will be a follow-up video of it running, driving, and everything else. So as of right now, I guess I will call it. Or not. You'll find out. If I call it, this is the end. If I don't, you'll see me finish up all this probably tomorrow night and hopefully be able to crank it. Crossing my fingers, hopefully crank it. If I can't, then we will figure it out. So, I'm happy with the progress I got done today. Still got all that to deal with. So, yeah, I'm going to go inside and call it a night.